is September 4th, 2024. It's approximately 3:04 p.m. Thank you, members of the team that are here today. We have Lois Kinkle, who's here, and Mr. Steve Weiss, who's also here. From the standpoint of staff, we've got Ray Jeffries and Regine Watson, who's our new town clerk, who's joined us. And then we also have members from the county. Also, we have Jessica Amaya here. Sorry, I forgot to say Jessica, who's also on the line. We've got members from the county's coalition in regards to Clean Water Partnership, in regards to some of the flooding, the flood issues, and they're going to do a brief presentation today. So we've got a busy agenda. I think you can see it on our screen. Just some updates. And I just wanted to go through those. I know that the mayor may be on soon. And Councilwoman McBride might be on soon, but I just wanted to go through a couple things, if that's okay with everybody, so that, because I know I don't want to keep everybody online too long. We did do a Sustainable Maryland submission, Ray and myself, and I'm going to let Ray talk a little bit about it. Ray, do you want to share a little bit about the Sustainable Maryland submission that we just submitted this summer?
Sure. So this summer we submitted for Sustainable Maryland to get certified. About 5 years ago, the town submitted to get certified, but the town hasn't done the process since then. So this summer we've done a lot of different things to try to get Bladensburg certified, such as America in Bloom, different sustainable features for our town. And the process, you gain points depending on different categories, such as historic preservation and even hosting different events like our Growing Green with Pride event that you see here on the agenda. So over the year, the town builds up different points to try to get this certification. And we submitted the application a few weeks ago, and they'll reply and let us know what we're missing or anything else that we can get to get more points. But I have hope that we'll get certified this in the next few weeks.
Thank you, Ray. Ray's worked really hard on it, and he's sort of taken this project off and started running and did a lot to help me to get a lot of things. There are about, I mean, he's understating, there's probably about 30 different sections you have to fill out and then provide examples of what you've done over the last 2 years. And Ray and I like split them in half, and he's doing one half, I'm working on the other, and we're putting up, let's say, postings, evidence of what we've been doing as far as, you know, if there's a newsletter article or things like that for different things, and just trying to make sure that we provide as much data as possible. So it's a pretty data intensive process. And then the other good part about the Sustainable Maryland is that the Green Team itself is a product of that. And so every time we meet and we have these informational sessions on what's going on in the town, it's also part of our Green Outreach. So just we wanted to kind of give the board, I mean, the group kind of an overview of what we've been doing. If there's any questions, just we're here for those. Okay, I'll take your silence as no questions. And so I'm going to go on to the next one. Mary, I'm not sure if you're Mary or Sonia who's the lead on it, but we're going to hear next from the county in regards to the flood channel project that has been going on the Quincy, both the Quincy and the Edmonston flood channel. I'm going to stop sharing so that if anybody else needs to share, that they can. But I'm not sure if it's you, Sonia, or if it's Mary that's going to start that one off.
I'll start it, and then I'll hand it over to Mary to talk about the project specifically on the technical side. And so I just want to first thank you for inviting us to attend, and then I will introduce the team that we have here and their role. So I am Sonia Williams, and I'm with the Clean Water Partnership. It is a partnership between Corvius Infrastructure Solutions and the Prince George's County government. Our focus is to work on water quality, that is, stormwater management, and water quantity, and that deals with flooding and flood issues. We also do resiliency around the county to help with dealing with some of the the impacts that the environment has on the county. And so that's our role, and that's how we support the county. I have with me in the conference room Anderson Morgan.
Hello.
And also on the screen, you'll see Jam Kendricks. Both of them, they support us through community engagement, community outreach, and marketing. Also, we have Mary Roman. She is our subject matter expert in dealing with stormwater management and flooding issues. Mary, do you have the presentation up? Would you like to share, or do you want to just talk us through it?
Sure. The presentation that we have available is one that was shown to the town back in May. Sonia, that's the one you're referring to, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm happy to share it, but I'm wondering if you all, because I like eye candy, pictures worth 1,000 words, right? So this particular presentation was presented to the at the one of the town meetings back in May, right? May 13th. So I'm happy to go through it. At that particular meeting, we had our engineering team involved that is working on the project. But I guess the question is, Michelle, how long would you like me to talk? I can make this as simple as 5 minutes and give you a direction of where we're heading, or 3 minutes, or longer. What would be preferred?
I mean, you can take. I mean, take 5. I mean, you can take 5, but no more. I'm joking.
Okay, no more. Okay. So look, right. We were, I was out at one of your meetings, I think it was last summer, and when we first became aware of this project. So right now, we're working in partnership with Prince George's County, Department of Public Works and Transportation, and the Department of Environment. You may remember Joanna Smith presenting at many public meetings at the town before. So at this point, I'm representing the Clean Water Partnership, right? We've picked up and have begun to assist Department of Public Works and Transportation in seeing this project forward. So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is looking at comprehensive solutions for the Edmondson Channel watershed, which is shown at the top in this purpley color, and the Quincy Run watershed, which encompasses the great majority of the town boundaries. And specifically, we're looking at potential flooding issues along both channels. That's Edmondson Channel and that's Quincy Run. So we're taking a pretty deep dive backed by field survey and hydrologic and hydraulic modeling. And we're really trying to find out and determine the cause of the flooding concerns. We're looking at historic data. We're looking at, the rainfall amounts that you all experienced in 2021, 2022 timeframe. So what we're doing first is doing that modeling. We've completed the modeling. And then our goal is really to come up with potential solutions to solve the flooding issues. Okay, so we're doing a kind of an engineering analysis. We're doing, we're sitting right here, right about in step number 7 right now. So we've really come a long way in that we've completed the modeling and we're looking at specific and potential solutions to reduce flood damages within the town. Okay, so that's currently ongoing with our consultant is Stantec. Engineering is the main engineering consultant that we have on staff, and they are a county located businesses that they're doing this work out of their Laurel, Maryland office. And then we're on a pretty fast track to move this forward to identification and evaluation of alternatives, so that we can start to move forward come early next year with design of selected measures. Right. So that's really an overview of what we have going on and working towards design come the beginning and throughout 2024 to 2025, concept plan development and design. Okay, so I'm thinking that I probably don't have the latest stuff because I see a yellow question mark on there, but in any event, the town is providing some of the funding for this, and the Department of Public Works has put forward other funding. So what we're doing is we're really, and this is where Sonia, if you want to step back in, what we're really trying to do is look at these areas in a more holistic fashion, right? We're looking at water quality measures, and we're trying to make sure to consider those as we move forward with these flood reduction measures. Sonia, would you like to speak to that?
I'll step back in. So thank you so much, Mary, for giving that overview, the technical overview. Our goal is to make data-based decisions on how to support the reduction of flooding in the Bladensburg area, because we understand that there has been some challenges over the years, and our goal is to support a reduction in the flooding. The other two people that I mentioned on the call, Jam and Anderson, they will be helping us communicate the process throughout, because as you saw on the schedule, this is going to be a long process. And this, although it's going to take a long time for us to start to put shovels in the ground where you're going to begin to see some changes, we still want to make sure that the community is engaged and they're able to understand what it is we're going to be doing, what impacts we're going to have on the community, and what to expect at the end of that. And we wanted to come here and introduce ourselves to you all because we understand that you all are very much involved in the community and the environmental issues in the community. And with that, I would like to give Jam just an opportunity to introduce herself and how she has supported us on other projects in and around the Clean Water Partnership Program, and just some of the things that we may be doing here in our ask of you to help be our eyes and ears on the project. Jam?
Sure. Thank you, Sonia. I am Jam Kendrick, and I represent one half of the community outreach and engagement team for the Clean Water Partnership. And I want to take this moment to also recognize Elsa Arias. She is from our team and our community outreach and engagement team. And I don't think Sonia captured her earlier. So we have my team and her team. We've worked with the Clean Water Partnership for 8 years now, and we've worked throughout Prince George's County. I've worked with several schools, churches, municipal buildings and locations, and we go out into the community prior to a project to make the community aware, get their feedback and buy-in, and just let them know what to expect when this type of a construction project comes into the community. So we're looking forward to working with you, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. And as we're going out, as we plan to get out into the community, we'll reach out to several members here to actually just get a little bit of a background as to what your neighbors are looking for and what kind of issues they're having, and hopefully we can have the team address them. So I will turn it over to Elsa in case she has something to say.
I agree with all that you said, Jem. One of the things that outreach also does, and that I know that Bladensburg has a high population of Spanish speakers. So one of the things that we bring to the table is that we are able to speak to the community in their native language as well, and translate the materials as well in Spanish to English and vice versa.
Thank you so much, Jam and Elsa. Sorry, you were on the second screen, Elsa. So
no worries. Thank you.
So hopefully this will give you just a brief idea of who we are and what we plan to be doing in your community. The Clean Water Partnership has been around for nearly 10 years, and we've done work all throughout the county in supporting the county's effort to reduce or improve the stormwater management and water quality throughout the county. So, and we have a relationship with the county that will not only include the design and the construction of these new stormwater devices, but also we maintain them for 30 years. So we're excited to be coming into Bladensburg with this important flood reduction project. We've been in Bladensburg before at some of the schools and a couple other devices in the community in the past. So we're excited to be back working with you all. And with that, I will turn it back over to Michelle. Thank you for having us.
I'm trying to unmute. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Sonia, and thank you everyone for introducing yourself. Green Team, do you guys have any questions about the flood channel project? I know, Steve, you were at some of our meetings when we first presented. I know you've been at some of the council meetings. So, yeah, anything?
Yeah, the big problem in Bladensburg, we have open stormwater drain culverts and all through town, and it goes underground at Taussig Road, under the road. And that drain gets clogged up, and it was really overgrown with trees and vines. A couple of years ago, they came in and cleaned it out. But apparently the county or whoever does it doesn't check up on that. So we have to rely on Public Works and neighbors to report, when it gets clogged up and overgrown. But it'd help if the county had some kind of maintenance scheduled regularly.
Yeah. No, we've been working. I agree with you. I think that we've been really working really well with Joanna, who is actually the person who is on the ground, the deputy director that's over this, about that, especially before storms are happening. She makes sure people get out there, but I know that she's been doing a little bit more. But if you can let us know as well, Steve, when I know that I've seen that I've been out walking, I see that they're getting a little overgrown, especially after the rain and drought periods of time. It's probably time again to call them and let her know. But we do have a contact, Mary. I don't know if that's kind of like where you guys were gonna go, is that we probably need to get in touch with Joanna, but that's really her. That's her area, correct? To make sure I'm not.
It is. I would just like that to add and appreciate that comment. And yeah, that culvert is the bane of a lot of our existence. We've been spending a lot of time analyzing the capacity of that culvert and what improvements could be implemented. But one of the things that Sonia mentioned that's unique about the Clean Water Partnership, which is, again, is a partnership between Corby's Infrastructure Solutions and the county, the Department of the Environment. And while you have called Joanna, as she is in charge of storm drain maintenance, and that is the right group and the right person to call for these types of things. As this project moves forward and gets implemented, it would then be under the maintenance of the Clean Water Partnership. So it'll be same thing, different person to call, right? Different group to call, because the Clean Water Partnership will be out there doing maintenance of the proposed improvements that we may implement. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And I bring that to your attention because, as a matter of fact, Sonia mentioned we've been in the community. One of the BMP or the best management practices is the Bladensburg South Park Pond that's on Park and Planning property. And we actually maintain that. And we were out there recently doing maintenance on that. So that, different than Department of Public Works and Transportation, that's a best management practice, a stormwater device that we maintain. So we're in coordination with Park and Planning, whose property that's on, to provide they do certain maintenance items and we do certain maintenance items. But anything that might be implemented through this project will be maintained by the Clean Water Partnership.
I have another question. I recently saw this advertisement for these plastic L-shaped panels. They're about 3 feet high and maybe 4 feet wide. They interlock. And so they're portable. You can set them up and interlock them. And the weight of the water holds the L-shaped panel down. I'm just wondering if you all have had any experience using those, if they really work.
So sure, I'd be happy to answer that as well, because yeah, I just saw those. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see how that works, right? And I was watching the video of that. The problem with these types of devices is that you would have to contain the entire low-lying area and connect out to high ground. So while you guys may have seen some of those types of active devices, devices that have to be installed or come up during floodwaters, when floodwaters come up, the devices have to come up, right? So a lot of the problem with that is the problem one of the fact that if any one of those panels fails, then they all fail, right? And then and the other thing is if there's rain at the same time, the water that ponds behind those panels could also cause damage. And so I can tell you for those reasons, we probably won't see those kinds of measures that require active involvement just because of the short amount of time between the start of rainfall and the start of flooding. It's really a very, very short amount of time, like a half hour from when you have a big downpour and then you start to see the water rise in the creeks. So yeah.
I was just curious, like sort of a temporary fix, for roads and stuff if they really work. But you make a good point. If one of them fails, they're all down.
Yeah, and plus, I feel like engineering sometimes feels like a Hippocratic oath, right? First, do no harm, right? Because if you put those up and then you have flooding behind them, you've made the problem potentially worse, right? So first, do no harm.
Awesome. Steve, do you have anything else, or is everybody any more questions for? Okay.
No, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. So then, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for coming. I think that we'll see you guys again at this meeting and also at the council meeting over the next couple of months as you guys go through the public process. And I appreciate early on just having this with the group here. And again, this is recorded and it will be on our website so that people can kind of speak, so they'll be able to see, the update that we were just given. So then again, thank you. Okay, so moving on.
Thank you so much, Michelle. So if it's okay, my team will exit the meeting.
Okay, see you guys later.
So
thank you.
Nice meeting y'all.
All right. Wow, so the meeting got smaller. Okay, great. So the next set of stuff is the green preferred purchasing list. As part of the information that we provided to Sustainable Maryland, we just updated, and that's actually on our website now, what our green preferred purchasing list is. We always had one, it just wasn't on our website. And we just wanted to kind of highlight that that's gone up. And maybe as a future topic, if there are some things that that the board wants to say, that the green team wants to see, but it actually goes from, and Ray, can you pull it up on our site if you can while I'm fumbling around for it? From the standpoint, it goes from, let's say, cleaning products to recycled paper to pens to all the things that we use, and then it also gives us down to like if we need to use recycled tires or all sorts of things. It's pretty exhaustive. It's about 30 something items on there, but what we just want to do is kind of let you know that is going on and that we updated our website to include the green purchasing list. If anybody had any questions, and Ray, if you can't pull it up quickly, I can, but I can then send everybody a copy of it. I think I might have sent it with it, but I can send everybody the copy of what that is. But it's not as important. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it. Does anybody have any questions about the green preferred purchasing? Okay. So the next one that we've got is the Tree City USA. It is something that we've been thinking about as a town that we would do. And there's three basic things that Tree USA kind of revolves. It's one, thank you, green purchasing and procurement policy. So thank you, Ray. Those are, that's the updated green policies. I think I have a procurement one too, but this is the green policies that are up on the towns, like the use of toxins, biodegradable, bio-based products, recycled materials, and then green building, landscaping, the use of types of mulch and things like that. And that's the one that was adopted by Debbie. We added some purchasing items to that. I think right under, I think it's under the other, I think it might be under the green section, but we can send that to everybody too. So we added both. Thank you. That's helpful. But going back to Tree City, it's the town has to adopt a tree policy and a tree plan. We don't have to have necessarily an arborist, but we do have to have a committee that would look at our trees, which a lot of teams, a lot of cities use green teams as their tree board, or the town can form a separate tree board. So what the other thing is that we would spend at least I think it's $2 per capita on trees, which would be about $19,000 on trees and landscaping for trees, care of trees. And then we celebrate Arbor Day. Those are the three things that they require for Tree City. They're not very hard, and there's some of the stuff that we're already doing. So I just wanted to see if there's any interest in becoming a Tree City and us performing, kind of starting to think about trees, because there's a lot with the tree canopy that we've been working on with the town, especially based on the county's program. This year, again, we have some trees that are available. So if anybody's interested, please let us know, because there are trees that are for yards and right of way to enhance the tree canopy in Bladensburg. Any questions or thoughts on Tree City?
I have a question. If you become a tree city, a lot of residents cut trees down on their own property. Would that affect the ability of people to cut their own tree down?
That's a good question. Certain types of trees, it would affect if you had older trees, because we would have a tree ordinance that would protect certain types that are already actually protected by the county. But we would, have something, we would adopt tree ordinance as well. So what we can do is we can bring you what that means. And we can kind of show that to the group to see what you guys would think about the tree ordinance and how in depth we do go. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that one. Any other thoughts on Tree City? It's like, and then so if there's no more thoughts on Tree City, the next thing we've got is the upcoming green events, Growing Green with Pride, which is a county-wide event that the town will have on, it looks like it's October 19th again this year. And what the town is going to do is probably, right, we're doing cleanup / like we always do, and maybe recycling-ish stuff.
Yeah, so we can definitely discuss that, but it's on Saturday, October 19th. It should be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. But likely we'll probably go around the community and clean up, and also might do some landscaping as well. So if there's any projects that come up between now and then, we'll definitely keep you updated.
I know that, Steve, I did follow up since our last meeting about the post office and about the ability to put stuff in front of the post office. I'm almost at the point. The fire department said it's okay. I just need to check in with the postmaster, which I've heard she should be okay with it. We could add the post office, some plantings in front of the post office to Growing Green with Pride, which is what I thought it was one of the things that we could have the students do. Maybe some appropriate fall or some appropriate perennials that may make it a little bit longer, and then in the spring, and maybe putting some bulbs. So in the spring, we have something that pops up there besides weeds.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed they did put down white gravel, which looks much better, but the weeds are still sort of coming through.
Yeah.
And there's many years ago, I put down a weed cloth with, mulch over top of it. It helps keep the weeds from coming through. But I did see they trimmed the tree down, and the flag is flying at the post office. And I want to thank the fire department or whoever did it. It looks great now. And they also cut that big bush on the retaining wall. It was over the post office sign. They cut that down. It looks much better now.
Yeah, so, it looks like that. I've seen that too. So I think they've made a lot of improvements. But and the other place that I've actually talked to is also the international school about their front area too, how we can help to beautify that as a place. So those are all those are options for some additional places, because we usually get a lot of students that volunteer on the 19th, like because they for community service hours. So usually they get done pretty quickly, but if we can find some additional spaces, that would be great. We usually also have them to help with replanting some of the areas around town hall, but we could fan them out more in the community to get some additional locations. So if you can think of any locations that you'd say, hey, could use some quick beautification, especially, beyond trash and things like that, I'd be happy to add those into the Growing Green with Pride. And then the last one is next meeting dates and times, just so that we keep up with everything. Is there any, I know that this time usually works Wednesdays, but the second or third, first or second Wednesday of the month, probably before Growing Green with Pride to check in. But if that works for everybody, that would be our next date.
Yeah, I'm going to be away on the 19th.
Okay. So I don't think that conflicts. I think we're looking at now. Oh, you're going to be way on Growing Green with Pride. Okay.
Yeah, October 19th. Oh, what is that for?
That's Growing Green with Pride, but you don't have our normal meeting would then be
the 2nd or the 9th.
The 2nd or the 9th.
Okay,
Probably.
I was looking at the wrong thing. What the next meeting will be when?
The 2nd or the 9th. Probably the 9th probably is better, or the 2nd could also work, whichever one works for you guys best.
Yeah, either one's good for me.
Okay. Maybe we'll stick in with the 2nd.
Let's do October 2nd.
Okay. For the 2nd, we'll send that in. And then I think that's everything that we've got. I hope it wasn't too much in this meeting. We just want to keep it, we wanted to give you some information and kind of give updates if that was helpful.
Yeah. I have a question. I noticed that the Bladensburg Library, they now have a trash can at the front door and in front of the building. Annapolis Road is good, but the bus stop there next to the library parking lot, there's no trash can, and I'm wondering, can we get somebody to put a trash can there? Because
yeah, I noticed that too. I was thinking about that. Like, we're looking at some additional trash cans around the town with the beautiful Bladensburg thought. I know that might not be their same aesthetic, but we can talk to Ms. Capone about it to see if they, from their standpoint, because you're right. I also did notice the other thing that's interesting about the library is that people are walking directly next to where the old sidewalk was instead of following the path when you're going up the street, because they have that beautiful path with the landscaping, and I just see that people have billy-goated a trail where the old sidewalk was, right, which seems more dangerous, right next to the roadway versus walking on the path there, which is sort of annoying. Especially all the work they did to kind of make that like a little garden oasis for people to walk through. So maybe we can help I almost think there needs to be a trash can when you start walking up to the library, because I've seen garbage in their beautiful landscaping out there too. So we can talk to the library and follow up before our next meeting.
Yeah.
As a good partner.
And the recycling, I have a printer that's about 12 years old. So I go to Staples and I turn the old ink cartridge in, the empty one, and I get $1 credit up to $15 for 15 cartridges. And then I get a discount on my next purchase. And really depending on those recycled cartridges at this age, the old printer ink for these old printers is very expensive compared to the new printers.
Yeah. They want to get you to buy a new printer, Steve. That's the trick.
Yeah, yeah, the old printer works fine. I don't want to throw it away.
I know. I've had my printer for about 10 years too, and I think I'm happy with that one as well. So, but no, I get what you're saying. Well, yeah, no, I think we all should be recycling as much as possible. I know that we use recycled recycled ones here, and I think we have a bunch of we have a couple of empty containers that probably need to go to Staples or need to go to somebody so that we can recycle them. We haven't thrown them away, but they're waiting to go. So now just wanted to check in. No, but that's all I've got for today. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
Yeah. Give our
I'm
thanks
good.
to the fire department. The post office looks much better.
Okay, we will. We could definitely share that. Regime, do you want to say anything? You mentioned I really didn't introduce you very well. Do you want to say hello and kind of introduce yourself to the group?
Hello, everybody. My name is Regine Watson, the new town clerk / assistant town administrator for the town. I'm looking forward to working with everybody and get great ideas. I'm actually very excited about this committee because of what you guys are doing for the community, and the green is kind of my little thing right there, as Michelle knows.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. Well, have a wonderful, what is this, Wednesday? I feel like I'm in a
Wednesday.
weird thing with the holidays. Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Have a great Wednesday, and thank you. I will see you in another month. And if there's anything, let me know that you need anything. Again, I appreciate your time. Bye-bye, everybody.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.